Okay, so let's go ahead and continue. In order for us to get the hash, we need to log into our server. So let me just go ahead and pull up a terminal. I just need this part. I'm just gonna go ahead and copy it. This was the previous SCP command, so just type in SSH space Control Shift V and B 60,001. Okay, so I'm logged into my server, and now I'm gonna go into cd var www html dols. It's right there. So now I shall write md5 sum windows.exe, and there you go. So I have it. Now we shall rewrite this to a format in PowerShell, which PowerShell will understand. So just move this either to a other portion of the screen or to another screen. I shall move it to a different screen, and then I shall rewrite it from there. Okay, so it's just on a different screen, but you have the same terminal, so just move it wherever you want so you can actually write it here. You cannot copy paste between a Windows VM and a Linux host. I didn't find a way. I don't know. Maybe somebody else knows a better way. So it's 05, and then every 2 digits or every 2 characters, you need to type in a dash. So 0582 dash 29 058294, sorry. Your hash will probably be different. In fact, 99% it will be different. So don't just type in the same hash that I did, but rather instead follow through all the steps and get your own hash, which will be correct. So 94, and then it's 5A. And you should type in capital A. Just convert all letters to uppercase. 5A0D. And then it's going to be 7B. 7B. C7 dash BE 32. Sorry for taking a little bit of time, but you need to get this right. If you don't get this right, this is not going to work. C5. The PowerShell is taking a very strange format of a hash. It should just be sets. C5, 8C, 8C, D8, 8C, 8C, D8. So then we go into, oh god, this is very difficult to read. So D8, C4. But fortunately, we only need to type it in once. So C4, and then it's 7-7. Nearly done. 7-7, E4. E4, and B5. There you go. So that would be all. I've just retyped it from here, so there you go. So from here to there, and it needs to be in this format, all uppercase and dashes every 2 characters. No big deal. So that's typed in. Let's go ahead and move on. So we're checking if the hash is equal, and then we need to go into this if statement. And within this if statement, if the hashes are equal, then all's good. Then basically the keylogger has indeed downloaded and has been placed in a proper place. So no big deal, all is fine, all is dandy. Now we need to basically cover up the tracks. So system dot diagnostics dot process. Then we close it and colon start. Well, before we actually clean up our tracks, we actually need to start the keylogger. So we've just downloaded it, we've placed it in the right place, but now we need to start it. And we've also confirmed that the integrity of the file, we've also confirmed the integrity of the file, so we know that the file is whole and complete, and now we just need to start it. So this is not a big deal. This is just a way of starting processes. So, okay, let's go ahead and start the process. So we need to give a path. Let's see, Windows, and then it's system 32 and Windows dot exe, and we just close this, and we don't need the initial this, and neither do we need these actually here. But we will need them once we actually convert this to a string in C++. So you will actually require them to be there. So I might have some extra characters and I might have some red lines, but that's all okay, fine and dandy. I mean, no big deal there. Let me just see if the quote marks will actually resolve this situation. Yep, they will actually resolve it. But the script's layout will be changed significantly when we actually put it into a string in C++, and that's really the important part. Writing it here, probably not as important as placing it into a string. So here we write it out just to make sure that it works, and then we place it into a string. Once we place it into a string, we will do some significant modifications in terms of escape chars. And now that we have actually started the keylogger, we need to cover up our tracks. So the PowerShell scripts need to be removed, the VBS script needs to be removed, everything but the keylogger needs to be removed. So we type in remove, remove item, and then dash force, and then recurse, as in recursive removal. And now we need to go through the long process of typing in the entire path. So let's go and begin. env colon user profile. Then we need to do this app data and roaming. Oh, thank God for the autocomplete. Microsoft, Windows, start, start menu, and then we need to go into programs. Oops. Seriously? Oh, yeah. I've started it with a single quote, so, or it did that on its own for some strange reason. Okay, so programs, and then from programs we need to go into startup, and then from start, yep, so we need a backtick here still. So this is not negotiable. We need to go into startup and then Windows dot VBS. There we go. And a line terminator at the end. So this will remove the VBS file that we will create in the future in the follow-up tutorial. So remove, and now it needs to remove itself. So remove item, then dash force dash recurse, and then let's go into C, Windows, system 32, Windows dot BS1. Okay, so semicolon at the end. And we need to basically just close this. And now we go into the else statement. Okay, so we've basically just started the keylogger and removed all traces of all scripts. Now you might ask yourselves, how can a script remove itself while it is still running, and will it continue to run after it has removed itself? The answer is yes and yes. The script can remove itself while it's running because it's going to remove itself from RAM. Sorry, not from RAM. It's going to remove itself from the disk space, but it's going to stay in RAM functioning. So once it has an exit status in RAM, it will no longer even remain in RAM. So it will be permanently gone without any significant traces for it to leave behind. So program can remove itself while actually running because it removes itself from a disk and it stays in RAM. And once it actually finishes, it will go away from RAM as well by default. Else, if the hash check fails, we want to remove whatever we have downloaded and repeat the process, because if we have a keylogger which is incomplete and it's not going to work, so just remove whatever we have downloaded and please go back and repeat the steps from above. So again, force recurse so recursive removal, and then go into C. Oh god. Windows system 32 and Windows .xm. There we go. So we have successfully, now we're going to remove the faulty download and we're going to have a function call itself. So install. So if the hash fails, just go ahead and call yourself again and repeat all the steps from above again until the condition is met and until all is in working order. So let me just go ahead and tab this. It looks better that way. And now we're going to go back to the original if statement where we're going to write an else case for it. So else and okay, so else start. If there is no connection, go to sleep for 59 seconds. So for a minute. I didn't want to, you can't, if you write 60 here, I'm not sure what will actually happen because the tag is -s and I wanted to have it set on 1 minute. So if I type in -s and 59 seconds, that's close enough to 1 minute. That's fine. No difference there. Install and semicolon. So if there is no connection, go to sleep for 1 minute and then call yourself back up again and repeat all the steps. And that's it. That's the entire PowerShell script written, except we need to do a function call at the end. So just do install and then semicolon. And these are the bodies and the definitions of the function. And this is the actual thing that is being executed. So interpreted, actually. You have the definitions of the functions up there with their bodies, and then you have a function call down below. Now we need to basically just go ahead and type in save as, and we're going to name this windows.ps, capital W, windows.ps1, and I'm going to go ahead and save this to desktop. So windows.ps1, I'm just going to go ahead and save it. Okay, so it should be here. Don't need this, don't need this. And there you go. So I have windows.ps1 saved and ready to run. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bid you farewell here. And in the follow-up tutorial, we're going to go ahead and write ourselves the VBS script, after which time we will plug it all into the Arduino and take it on from there.